do a very simple, colorful website. The colorful website we're going to use the HTML CSS, as we all know that HTML is a markup language for computer, and we have several languages, computer languages like of Python, PHP, Java, C, C+, etc. So apart from that, the text editor we are going to use today is called Sublime, and apart from Sublime, there's other text editor like Dreamweaver, Atom, Bracket, etc. So today I'm going to just have a very simple website, but it's going to be a colorful website. The colorful website I'm going to use, I'm going to create using HTML, CSS, and combination of HTML, CSS plus the text that called Sublime. So let's see how we can make this simple website together. And if you have anything that may disturb you through this process, please try to inbox me via my email, that is kevinsjames95@gmail.com, or WhatsApp me via my WhatsApp number 0791 071919. Please start. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a files. The two files I'm going to create, the one for HTML and the other one for CSS. So this file, they are not the same file, but we are trying to bring them together so that they respond to each other. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a file. So the file I'm going to create, this is my Sublime text editor. So just on the left side, there's a tab called file. Just click on that file, then say new. So after this, I'm going to save my file. I'll go to files, save as. So here I'm going to save my file under document. So I'm going to create a folder for it. The folder I'm going to create is going to be first trial. So inside that folder, I'm going to get inside and save my document as index.html. So anytime you're creating an HTML document, don't forget to save it as a format of .html. That's a format for HTML. Actually, all the languages have their own format. Like if you're using PHP, they have their own format how to save a document. If you're using Python, you have Java, you have JavaScript. All of them have the format. For the format for HTML is always HTML. For PHP is .php. So always remember, you must understand which language you're using first, because there's a lot of computer language that is outside there and people are using depending on the project they are going to do. So always try your best to know the type of language you're using and the format how you should save your work so that you don't get confused with your work. So let's save it. So from there, I want to save it from here. So you can see on the top bar of my text editor, there's a file called index.html. So from there, I'm going to create another file. So this file, I see that I'm going to work with two files. The first file is called index.html. The second one is called CSS. This is so what's the difference between these two files? We have HTML and we have CSS. So HTML actually is like a container, or is like a room where it's an empty room but it's full with so many things. So that's what HTML is, like a container. It's like a store. That's what HTML is. But on the other hand, CSS, whereby now you start arranging the stuff according to the way they are. You can set the left side, right side, front, back end, centered. You arrange them according to the way you want them. So we normally call it CSS. Make the beautiful, the appearance, how our appearance will look like. So that's the work of CSS. So let's create a file for CSS. So the difference between CSS and HTML is that HTML is just a store. HTML is just a store, and CSS make that store look better. It make appear of that store look better. Let's go and open another file, and this file this time around we're going to name it CSS. So go to file, save as. So inside this folder, now you're going to create that folder. Remember, why we created we created to organize our work so that even that person who is not good in programming, that person is not good in learning computer may have interest to learn computer. So I'm trying to organize my such that each of these files they have their own folder. Those files normally call them roots. So each of these files they have their own roots. So these files we are going to folder. It has a specific name called CSS. So never forget about that. I'm not saying that it can't have any name, but for beginners, please remember to name that folder CSS. So inside that CSS folder, I'll get in and save it here. Style. Remember to name it style. Never forget about that style.css. It will bear the name of the folder. So I don't want to get confused. I don't want to confuse others also. But always remember to save it style.css. So that's it. So I'll save it. So right now it's like I have two files. But with this one, at a time when I'm at the file of HTML, you won't see on whatever in the CSS. And I don't want it to look like that. So what am I going to do? I want to create two columns whereby at the same time I can work on the HTML, but you'll see the codes on the CSS. So by doing that, I'll just go to view, layout, columns. So each of them will be on their own columns. So let me just drag the HTML on this side. I just drag it on the left. So this is my HTML tab. This is my HTML column, and this is my CSS column. So I want to start coding. It's going to be a pure coding, but very basic coding. It has no thinking capacity because I'm going to use very simple elements and attributes depending with the idea I'm going to have on the paper. I already have the sketch work with me here, but it doesn't need a lot of work. So please just take your time. So the first thing I'm going to have a tag called HTML. This tag called HTML, it comes with several elements. Like we have element head, we have element title, we have element body. And each of them they have closing tag. There's a closing tag in each of the elements. So the element title is the name of the site. When you look that site online, you'll get a title of the name of the site. So for our case here, we're going to name it. I love doing beauty, and I love deal with the IT, so I'll name it anything. So can I do it beauty? Yes, beauty. Let me give it beauty because I'm passionate about beauty. So after that, remember we have two files here, and these two files they must respond to each other. So the only way for them to respond to each other, I have to link them together. So the second step I'm going to do, I'm going to guide you how to link these two files here using some. The only challenge the guy may using Notepad++, there's a text data called Notepad++, is that if you're using Notepad++, there'll be a very big challenge. But when you're using Bracket, Atom, Sublime, it's going to be very easy for you because whatever you're going to do, you just write that tag or link, then you enter, then the statement will come out. So let's see. So I'm going to do, I'm just type link. See, links down there. So if you type link, they just give me those options down there. So for our case, let me enter link. So when I enter this link, there are several statement come on, but this statement that they mean nothing. I'll explain each of them when you go to details of programming. But for now, let's just use the basic one that we can understand easily. So here, I'm going to link the HTML plus CSS, but the link now is on the side of HTML, means that I have to call or direct the HTML file to CSS. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to know the root. We normally call it root, where the CSS file style file is. For our case, it is at CSS folder. So I'm going to write CSS first, slash. So after writing that, there's a file name. So there's a file name called style. You can get it from here actually. Don't panic. You can get it from here on the top. So style dot. This is, so we have very simple like this. So such a way that if I want to do something from this side, it will work. So you can, this side we have body, this side don't have any element. So let's try one thing. So we'll start with the body, because already we have the body. So the body we are going to have, I'm going to type here body. So body, I can represent body to, I can write the word body, or I can have that star. Actually, star means body in programming. So if I have body, let me just write body like that, and obtain these brackets of mine, and say width to be 100%. Height. So here also there's another case. When you're using the body doesn't need the width and the width and the height. It need only margin and padding. So for this one, we just doing as a demo. We just want to prove that whatever we have done on the side of HTML is really working. So don't focus on this one too much, on the part of the body. I'll just guide you, just this as a demo part of it. I'll just guide you how we are going to program. This is just a demo, so let's just do this one for the sake of proving whatever we have done. So height, let me just to have this one pixel. I love using pixel, so I don't use front left. Let me just have the color. So of course background color red. So here you can use the color code. There's something called color code, and there's also the name of the color, but with time you'll know what they mean, all of them. So there's another question that people normally ask: how do you run after coding? Yes, you are good in programming, you can write a very clean code, but how can you run it so that someone can see it, the user can see it without any stress? So I'll just right click and copy the path file. There's a down there, copy the path file. I'll copy it. Go using, whether you're using Firefox, Chrome, whatever you're using. For our case here, let me just use Chrome. Let me use Chrome. Click here and copy paste. So just right click, paste, or you can Control V, Command Control V. So you can see a red. Means the link between two of them are working. So how will we know that it is working or not working? So if it's not working, let's just remove a statement from this link. As I said that even if you remove a dot, it won't work. So we have a dot there. Let me just remove it. Let me remove a dot. Then have a space. Then save it again. Yeah, just Control S, right? Then have it down here. Save. So it turn white. So in programming languages, wherever you are doing anything, please remember, be keen, focus whatever you're doing, because once you remove a comma, a dot, as a letter, it won't work. For our case here, you've only removed dot, and now it's not working. You can see. And if you try to remove you try to replace that dot and save, you'll see it back. So I think you've learned that from experience and whatever you have done here. So I don't think it is a very big challenge. So as I said before, I was working on the body just to demonstrate or to just prove that the link that you have linked between the HTML and CSS is really working. So let's go back to our normal project that we're supposed to do today and see how nice and enjoyable it is from today. So we have the body. Once you have done the body, once you have done the head, whereby you have the title, you have the link where you link the HTML with CSS, you go to body and make the body to be style. We make it look like a body. So for here now, a colorless body, you'll just add a default. A default means that it will pick the color of the screen via the screen device. So that is it. So in the body, initially primary element or primary property that should be in the body is like. So the first thing we must have margin. Margin should be 0 auto. Never forget about that. Margin should be 0 auto. Then we have padding. Padding should be 0 auto. So these are the primary. There are a lot of them, but this is the primary that you must have. This is the primary that you must. The primary that you must. There's no any other thing that this is the primary that you must have. All right. the plane that you must have. So while you are here, you'll see that but there's nothing which is there. It's very careless because that's what I need. So after there, however, I really like that I will not be able. I have it already sketched it somewhere. I have it back in my mind. So that's what we're going to do today. So I want to come up with idea, and this idea will just very simple, and both in images, paragraph, links, nothing like that. Just going to be a color, and this color is going to be very, very simple. Please, I hope you are going to enjoy this. Just sit behind and relax. So here I'm going to start a wrapper. A wrapper is like now a wrapper. A wrapper is what carry all our content. But as I said before, we are not going to have a content. So this wrapper of mine is just have the layout or the website that we are going to do. So I'm going to use here also we have to identity. To identity, we are going to talk about the div class and div ID. So div ID has its own rules. Div class has its own rule, but basically I'm going to use div class. Div class I won't explain in detail because I understand your thinking capability. So I'm just use the simple term as we make move step by step. As I told you before that this has proceed. So I'm going to use the div class. Div class. Div class. So under div class here. Div class here. Div class. So div class we're going to have a wrapper. So you just write a class. So class we're going to have a wrapper. Wrapper. So this wrapper here, as I said before, a body has nothing, but wrapper now you can have like the like of width, height. So you can see I'm working on both sides. I'm working on both of the side of HTML. At the same time, I'm working on the side of CSS. I know that these are brothers, these are sisters, they must be corresponding to each other. So at time but you try to write something and that thing's not responding, means there must be a mistake somewhere, and this mistake must be solved before you proceed to the next step. Because if you try to proceed to the next step before you solve that problem, means that down the line you are going to create a big problem that will take you time to solve out. So always, if you have any problem, solve it out. So I'll go step by step. I've done the wrapper, so I'll just come down here and write wrapper. So wrapper. So when on the side of the HTML, you just write a class, div class. Then on the side of style, the class will represent what? Dot. So we just have a dot wrapper. So these are they are very simple terms to understand. Please understand that wrapper, when you have a class on the HTML, remember that a class is being respected by dot on the CSS side. So never forget about that. That's a very, you have to note it down somewhere so that you don't forget about it. So let me just do this. So wrapper mine will be width. Width I just have 100% because it will carry everything. 100%. So down here also the people normally face a lot of problem whereby you have a problem. The problem will be there's two things here. There's something called VH. So this is the question I'm going to put down there. What is a VH? What's a VH and what is VW? VW. These are terms for programmers, right? Apart from having width, we must have height. So here the height, the specific height of the content I'm going to use, it is advisable to use main height. Main height, it will increase automatically. As more you have the content, as more the height increase automatically. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just to just have the main height. But when you know that there's the white I'm going to use, it's advised to use maximum width or height, so that this is the fixed height. It won't increase, it will decrease. That's the fixed height. So for our case, I'm going to have the main because I don't know the specific height we are going to use. So I'm going to use 1500. You can use 1500 pixels. Then here always have to arrange the things from left to right, always. So that's the second element that you must have. The first element that says about the class represented by dot. This side also always remember, write it down please. If you have a notebook somewhere, write it down. float left. We have both float left and margin left, padding left. But for you to remain focused, for you not to get confused, please remain float left. I will explain what float right is, padding left is, padding right is. But for now, please, for our understanding, for our basic understanding, please, I request all of you guys to remain with what? Float left. So just write a float left. Finally, after writing all these tags, I'll just write the background color is black. Black is a neutral color. I'm not writing black. So as I told you before that, in some cases we're going to write color codes, and these color codes, they have their own meaning, please. So for a basic code, please just call the name of the color. Don't worry about the color code. Those one, there'll be time for them. There'll be time for. Don't worry about them. So I will save my work. Remember to save your Control S, Command S. So Control S on both sides. So what when you want to know that you have saved your work or not, you will see before you save, you will see something like a dot on the top, and after you save it, you'll see a X like this side. So let me just on this side of the HTML, you can see there is something like a dot on the tab. Then after I've saved it, you'll see a X on the top. I hope everyone notice that difference. Please don't forget about that. So after that, I'll try to see my work. I just come here and refresh my work. So as you can see, I have a very beautiful black. I love black. So the only two colors I'm going to use today is black and white, because black and white, they are not difficult colors to use, because it's a very simple. These are very simple that even up do it. So those first year students, please, I'm doing this for you. First year, second year, those who are basically are studying HTML and university and maybe Dreamweaver, Notepad and Notepad. But I'm doing this for you guys to understand the structure of HTML and CSS, so that even the theoretical part of it, you will get the content, the real content for it. So please take your time and go through this content I'm delivering today, please, guys. So I'm going back to Sublime now, right now. So as I said before, that div class is a container whereby all your work will be in. So what next from here? I'll click in between those two tags. There's a closing tag and opening tag that also will understand. The closing tag is this one here. This is called opening tag from here to here, and this is also called closing tag. Don't forget about that. It's also always so. Back to here now. I'll be down here now. So here where I am now, I want to start creating my content layout. As I said that I'm not going to have any content, but I want to have content layout. We normally call layout. Now it's a content layout whereby the next class we are going to just feed the content inside this content area but I'm going to make it very, very simple. Very, very simple, very simple. Even a baby from this, so I'm going to make it very, very simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to div class. Remember, when you start using class, please maintain that. When you start using class, please maintain that. Don't jump from A to B. Please focus with one identity. That if it's class, if it's identity, if identity ID, maintain that. So as I told before, it is either class or ID, and I don't want to now introduce ID right now because it has some element or property that I have to explain it, so that before you use it, you have to know the meaning of those identity. So here now I'll say the nav. I don't want to do the top nav with the result because it has some unique element that maybe for a beginner like you guys may get confused. But in advance, after I'm done with this project, I'll do a complete website whereby we are going to have the top nav plus nav. Then I'll explain everything in the details. Please, if you're not subscribed my channel, please try to subscribe so that you'll be getting updates on each classes we're going to have. I'll be having class like every day or every Friday. So here we're going to have nav. So now, as I said before, that I'm going to work everything step by step. So now, as I said before, my program need a basic of maths, also basic and advanced, depending the type of things you want to make. But it's need maths actually. So always when you're doing this place, always know that maths is always there. Maths is also, we are going to have complex few things, but it's genius enough figure out together. So we're going to do this. So I'm going to have dot nav width. So I don't want a full nav. Are you getting my point? I want a nav whereby I have a space on both left. So I want a space. I want a space on the left side and the left side. So I have to figure out if I have a width of 100% and I want a space on the left and the right side. What about if I minus? If I minus, if I minus, if I minus 5%, I'll remain with 95%. So I'll say width to be 95%. I can have 95 or 94, whatever it is. Let me just 96. So I'll remain with what? 94. I'll remain with what? 96 percent. Height, now I'll have specific height now because it's a very critical place. Height, so it will be like 90 pixel. I'll maintain float left. I will love to do. Now, I've told you that I'm not using two colors because I don't want to make a lot of color because they're very basic projects. So I'm going to have just white. I don't want to do color code. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to do color codes. I'm sorry for that. So right now, I'm going to do what I'm going to do right now is going to be white. That is it. So remember, if I save this, you'll see how it's look like. So let me save it, then run our project and see. You can see it on the top, right? But we have a space on the right side, but we don't have a space on the left side. So how are we going to have that space from the left side? So this is how we're going to do it, and it must be balanced. So we have two ways. We already used left, right? So what we're going to do, back in mind, you know that it's 100%, and we have already minus 96. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to divide that 6 divided by 2 so that it balances. However, we just got to margin. Margin is that space on the left side and the right side. So I'm going to have margin left, 3%. So 3% will get us how to do that. So I'll have it here. That is it. How nice is it? So you can see it's well balanced on the top on the left. So a guy will ask me, why am I mixing between? From there, I'm done that. So back on a guy will ask me to touch the edges, right? On the top edges, these are very big. There's no space, please. Can it have a breathing, please? Yes, it's possible. So to do that, I just write margin. You can see it's a very simple thing, guys. Margin 10%, as small as that. 10%. That's very simple. If I know maybe you are not seeing it very clearly, I can have 20 so that you can see it clearly. 20, then save. Always save. After you made any changes, please so that you change. So that is it, guys. So as I said before, I'm not going to upload any content on this. It's a very simple black and white neutral color. These are called neutral colors. Anyone can use them without any complaint. So the next, so I'm going to have banners. So banners, as I said that I'm using class. I'll just name it banner. So this banner, I'll sell it here and say class banner. Class banner. So this class banner here, I'm going to change the mind. I want the width on it, but the banner to be full width. So I'm going to say width 100%. Height to be like 500 pixels. Not bad. 500 pixels, not bad. Front left. Margin top. I said that is a margin. It's a space between and the top and the bottom. So margin top, I'll say now 40. Sorry. Margin top now, I'll say 40. 40 pixels. Not look so big, but it's not big actually. Background color, I say that I maintain my white because I'm using neutral colors, so don't panic about that. Then I'll save. So always, if you see my chords, actually my chords are very neat chord. They don't have anything complicated that someone cannot understand. Please, if I've I've done something here that you feel that is not called clearly to you, please just WhatsApp me via my WhatsApp number 0791 or you can email me via my email kevinsjames95 at gmail.com, kevinsjames95 at gmail tells, so that you get the point clearly. So after that, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it. So after saving that, I can get it running out. So you can see my banner, man. It looks so nice. I love it, man. I think someone down there is asking me down the comment area that are we going to complete today? Don't worry, it's been done today. It's a done deal. Don't worry, I'm with you today, guys. Don't panic when you're with this guy here. Things will be in order. So I'm telling these guys, I'm telling this. I love this. It's coming. So after this, look. If you look my code from the side of HTML, you will see that everything are inside a div called wrapper. If you're very keen enough, right? And what is that closing tag is? Very nice. I love it. Down here now, we are going to do content area. As I said that I'm going to make a very simple thing, not complicated. So the content area I'm going to use is going to use a very simple thing, div plus content. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this and duplicate it. I'm going to duplicate it. Right. So I have like, I don't want to change those name, right? Because I want to make your work easier, right? So what I want to do here is that I'm trying to make work easier for you guys. So I want to identify one element. Actually, this is called element. The name in between here after class, this they call elements. Don't forget about that. Call them elements. So what I'm going to do here, after duplicate this, I want to identify one element and because they have the same names. So I'll just the property on the side of CSS will just interpret everything so that it duplicates the CSS for you. On the side of HTML, you have to duplicate manually, but on the side of CSS, CSS will duplicate the property for you. So let's see. So before we move to the next step, understand that the width of this screen is 100%, all right? And due that we have the width of this screen is 100%, and we want to divide that width into 3, all right? Means that in between we must have a space, all right? So the space on the left side, one space. After this second space, so we are going to have like 4 spaces in between. So back in mind, I have to work out. Please, I'm going to work it out above 30. So 30 times 3 is going to be 90%. So 90%, I will remain with 10%. So 10% divided by 4, I'm going to have 2.5% for each margin left. So that's how I'm going to work it out. But physically, you won't see 30% times 3, or you won't see 2.5% times 4, but it's something that already worked, and the computer language that I'm going to use is already, it will know whatever I want. It's like communicated. So here I'm going to have dots. So the dot I have here is content. All right, then I'm going to have like that. So as I said before, is that I have like 2 content, 3, and I divide that 90 by 3 means 90, 30, then remain 10 divided by 4 is 2.5. So I'm going to do like wins will be 30. Please, if you have any question, please just drop your comment down there, or if you need a quick answer, please WhatsApp me via my number 0791 079019. Height will be Height now I can just like 200 pixel. I don't need a big height. Then float left. Remember, don't never forget. For each element must have float left. Then white. Then save it. So there's a margin top. Margin top I have explained on between the top and the bottom. So let me just have it down here like 40. I love using 40 because I'm that guy. You know, that guy. Don't remember that. Don't forget about that. So let me see this one. They are not coming. The reason they are not coming, I've only saved the part of style, but I've not saved the part of HTML. So if I save this, means they must be there for me now and see them. Let's go and see. You can see. You look here, guys. What's not happening? 30%. From here, it is 30%. From here, it's 30%. That's sum up to 90. Then there's a space here. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5 sum up to 10%. Means the width of this div here is called what? 100%. Then I've only styled one element. Why? Because I have three elements, but these three elements bear the same what? The same name. So as once I've done the first element, everything will duplicate on the side of CSS. So that's the reason if you look on my side here, you'll see what? I have only one element with properties. The rest, I don't care about them. So that is it, guys. That is it, guys. So I've done this, guys. I've done this. So can I proceed? Yes, I have to proceed because I can't leave you here hanging, guys. So with that, done and for all one content area, and it's going to be a unique content area. Even it's still running my mind. I don't know how this one's going to look like, but let's see it. Div class. So div class here we are going to have is called div class. I don't want to mess up with code because if I give the same name, then I'm going to mess up. So what I can do here, I can name div class container 1. So I can't have these with the same name. Why? Because the sizes are not going to be the same. All right, the size is not going to be the same. So due to the size is not going to be, all right. So I can say div class container 1, then this one can say div class container 2. 1, 2 here. So this one can say div class container 2. 2 there. So that's so I want something. I'm still figuring out how this one is going to work out. I want something. I'm going to have never class container 1 width. I'm going to have a width of 50%. Height, I'm going to have a height of 300 pixel. Float left, margin left is going to be 5%. Background color will remain that my color. Going to be white. Then let's see. So this only container 1. Let's see how this look like first. Let's see how it look like. Yes, remember I'm going to save one side. Remember I'm going to save it. Save. So remember, I have this one 5% on the margin on the left side. Here I have the 5% on the left side, and I have 50%. That means that is 55. I remain with what? I remain with like 45. If I'm not wrong, 45. So 45. And there's space at the center here, and the space of this side. So this will be 5, this will be 5, mean that I remove the 35%. So if I have this one here, now I can duplicate this one, if you don't mind, and have it here. So I change those property now. Because of time, people are tired down there. Now I can have here 2. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just have 5. 5 is okay. Then here I have 35. So many things, not only programming, but also we do hacking, we do app, we do web design, we do design, that's branding, we do CCTV installations, guys. We do internet, we do maintenance, computer maintenance, we do repairs, we install software. So class footer, I'll just give it name footer because I've done deal footer. That's gray. So I love using gray for footer, but people depend the company logo and company color themes. If a company has a different color themes, you can use it. But basically, I like using footer. The kind of footer is I like using green, gray. Gray is the color for me, and the standard color better than the color. So that's the color I want to use. So my footer is going to be a full width. So I'm going to write here footer, width. Width of the footer will be what? 100%. So 100%. Height remain like 200 pixels. I don't need a big footer, please. I don't have so many content. Top left must be maintained. Another thing that must be maintained, color, a must, my friend. A must. Don't forget about that. Cell gives gray. Remember, I'm just using the name of the colors. I've not dwell on the color codes. But those who have interest on programming, especially when you want to learn this big language like Python, PHP, Java, C, you have to master those color codes. And not only master, there's a way you can get them easily as long as you know how to get. There's something called color wheel that on the designing class you're going to do that, how to use color wheels when you're doing design. So don't be out of this class. Don't check. As long as you're free there, please check what is in today so that you get updated daily, guys. Let's proceed. So I always maintain that it must have margin top. Margin top is just a space on the top. That is it, guys. That is it. So this is our layout for today, guys. I told you that it's going to be a very simple layout, not complicated. As you can see, it's a very simple layout, not complicated. We have the nav, all right, where we are going to have our logo on this side, links. Then we have a very big banner here where our image will be slided, maybe with some content. Then we have maybe some content images, then we have the photo, maybe page, colorful website, and this is where we have launched to, and I think it looks so nice. So the next class we're going to feed necessary content to this our colorful website. So guys, thank you for your time. I hope it was an enjoyable class. Till next time tomorrow, check on my channel. Never forget about that, guys. Thank you, guys. Have a